Hello, my name is Neospell, and I'm here to tell you about my condition. I am a live streamer uh, that streams to beam.pro. And a lot of people around the community know about my condition. They know, or they know bits and pieces. They don't know everything. They don't know what exactly my condition is. They might know, oh, well, this guy, he has this, and, it makes him a bit of an asshole. But no. Um, um, when I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with a brainstem tumor. It first started with a headache. When I had this headache, it lasted for a couple weeks, and I went to see a doctor. The doctor told me, "You're too fat. You need to lose weight. Um, you're a big boy. You big boy. You eat too much. Whatever." And that's what we brushed it off at. Well, they did. Well, the headaches continued, and I went back to the doctors. It got to the point where I was chugging bottles of Advil. People go, take two, take three at the most. I just take a chug, and it sounds horrible, but that's what I needed to do because this headache just got consistently worse every day. It never got relief from it. It wasn't until my yearly eye exam, when I was 15 years old, that I found out. They said, hey, you have a gland behind your right eye that's swollen. This isn't right. We need to look a little farther. We need to send you to a specialist. They send me to a specialist, and they dilate my eyes. They try to look, and they look a little closer, but they can't quite figure out what the hell is causing this gland to be swollen. And so the specialist order an MRI. An MRI is basically a very, very good image of what's going on inside your body. And they added dye, which basically lit up everything. They found that the water had built up in my brain, pushing my brain against my skull, completely just causing the headaches. Just so much pressure because there was nothing draining out. Everything was building up, but nothing was going out. I was immediately rushed to Johns Hopkins Hospital as a 15-year-old kid. I spent 4 days in the hospital. I want to say, I don't know. Because when you're really in the hospital, you don't sleep. You're in and out on your own time. And you never really, what they did was they drilled a hole in the back of my skull to relieve the pressure. They believe that this would be a way to allow all this pressure to drain out. The doctor, after the surgery, we have a checkup. The doctor says, this tumor has probably been with me for my entire life. It's something that they probably could have caught if they had looked when I was a kid. And maybe it would have been dealt with then. Supposedly there's a higher chance of them being able to fix it, but I know nothing about that. But this tumor grew with me, and as my body was growing, I was always that kid that had a giant head. I can show you a picture of that, but honestly, I don't want to show you a picture with my pants on my head. But I had a giant head. So, I mean, all the things that the doctor said about it being there since I was a kid, it lines up. It actually does. But whatever. So he tells me this tumor, they can't touch it. It's located on my brainstem. And it's located in such a place that it stops all the fluid from draining. That's why they had to put in the hole. They tell me that I had about 15 years to live. I was a 15-year-old kid given 15 more years. It's needless to say, depression was something I went through. I went through it for a very long time. I gained a lot of weight. I finally came out of it when I was around 18. I found a nice woman. I was with her from the age of 15 to 18. Went through a lot. A few weeks before my 18th birthday, I started having headaches again. When you've gone through the headaches that this kind of build up, this pressure causes, you know, because they're not like normal headaches. You know, there are people who suffer from migraines. There are people who suffer from all different kind of headaches. These are ones that you know, because they make you just want to pass out, but you can't because it hurts so much. So before my 18th birthday, I dropped out of high school because they couldn't tell me how long I'd be out for this surgery. They couldn't tell me around the time, so I would have just flunked out anyway. So I figured, other than getting a lot of drama from the school, it'd just be easier to drop out. April 4th, of that year, 2009, I went through a lot of problems. I had just gotten Medicaid. I had to fight with doctors. I had to, because once you get insurance, you have to go to a doctor to make them your regular or whatever. And no doctor, your first visit, is going to take you and say, okay, go get an MRI. They're not going to send you straight to a specialist. We fought for a long. We fought with like 5 or 6 different doctors until we found a doctor who was like, okay, go here. I don't care. Go see it. Go get an MRI. Go get an MRI. Sure enough, the pressure was building up again. The hole that they drilled when I was 15 decided to close. So on April 4th, I had my second surgery. A couple weeks after my 18th birthday, I had a shunt put in. For those who don't know what a shunt is, and I might not even be saying it correctly, it's a tube that runs from the top of my head behind my right ear and into my stomach. This is not a fix for my brain tumor. My brain tumor is not going to just cause pressure. So people who think, oh, well, then the problem's fixed. Well, that's how the government views it. I dropped out of high school. I lost my Medicaid after my surgery. So I couldn't even afford it. I couldn't even go get a checkup. My tumor's gone unchecked. And there's no way to get that done. And I'm fine with that. But some things people need to understand is that I have a shunt. It's just relieving pressure. It's just fixing one problem. That tumor is still growing. It's inside my brainstem. When it grows to a certain size, it's going to start cutting off connections. I will become a vegetable. The end will not be pretty. And it's becoming closer and closer. So a few months ago, well, I should actually say 2 years ago. 2 years ago, my tumor started to cause more problems. We had the pressure and the headaches fixed because of the tube in my head. And now, 2 years ago, I was found passed out on my floor. I was on a Skype call with my girlfriend at that time. I was in Discord with, not Discord, TeamSpeak. I was in TeamSpeak with one of my good friends, and they're all yelling, trying to figure out what happened to me. My mother finally gets me to wake up, and I'm found everything, the floor, everything is covered in urine. Everything's covered in piss. I clean up and we go to the hospital. We find out that I had a seizure. And they gave me, I want to say a month, maybe, if even. It may have given me just while I was in there. I couldn't remember. Just given me a couple pills to help. But there was never any follow-ups, anything that helped me after that. It wasn't until July 3rd. Oh, I should actually backtrack, which is what I hate to do, but after the first seizure, whenever I get emotionally stressed, when my anxiety gets high, my heart gets beating, I don't know which way is up. I don't know which way is down. All I know is I need to find a bed because I'm going to pass out or seize. Being someone who his emotions alone can cause him to seize, it was something that really hit me hard. But yeah, getting to July 3rd, I had my second major seizure. This one came with something called Todd's paralysis. Todd's paralysis is where half of your body becomes numb, becomes paralyzed. For me, it's a little bit worse. I lost all movement in my legs. I lost a lot of movement in my middle fingers on both hands. When they tested me at the hospital, they said my grip was extremely weak. Definitely for someone who's a gamer. These doctors are that I met at this hospital after spending 2 days recovering from being paralyzed. These doctors put me in contact with a group of people that are actually trying to help. Right now, I'm currently on 3 medications. I'm on Keppra, which is an anti-convulsant, which it helps with the seizures. It basically changes my entire brain chemistry. And it's been a hell of a ride with this medication. I've been on it for months now. It causes mood swings. It causes me to be short-tempered. It causes me to get really depressed. It causes a lot of problems. Any problem you can picture mentally, Keppra causes. And the last time I went to the doctor, they told me I had high blood sugar. And I also told them I can't handle life anymore. I didn't tell them I was depressed. I told them I have these panic attacks and I can't help it. I can't deal with them anymore. Because they induce my seizures. And even though I'm on Keppra, it doesn't mean I can't seize. So I hope this video clears up any inconsistencies or fills in all the blanks for everyone. I put all my emotions and heart and soul into this video. I know that this story needed to be told, and it needed to be told in a way that anyone could watch it whenever they could. I want to thank you guys very much, and have a great day.